Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm going to do a quick recap of this week's markets action. We'll take a look at the main indices and Bitcoin. Really quickly, we'll take a look at the weekly technical picture here with the moving averages and the levels that we have. Then we'll move on to Elliott Wave structures. Basically, we had a pretty strong close across the board. The markets has recovered pretty well here since April, and it looks like pretty much all the indices want to go to new all-time highs. It's likely that we might have happening something similar with what we've had back after COVID, where we sold off very sharply, then we kind of came back in and we made a new high, and then we corrected sharply for several weeks, and then we continue to move higher. So I think the likelihood of that scenario, it's pretty high here, as we're running, seems to be towards the final stages of this first impulse, and then we're probably going to pull back a little bit and then continue to go. So that's kind of my view on the structure at the current highs. The close here on the weekly was good, 1.5%, and then also it came on a good volume, so the expectation is for a continuation higher. Take a look at the Nasdaq Composite. It's got a similar picture. I think it's even a little bit stronger. Same for the Dow, which is trying to get back above its 40-week moving average here. And then we have a pretty good performance from the Russell, from the small caps. They're still below their 40-week, but they've gained about 3.3% on the week. But look at the volume that came in this week, above average. So this bodes well for the next upcoming weeks in IWM. All right, let's also take a look. Let's see how Bitcoin kind of closed on the week, and then I'll talk with it in terms of Elliott Wave structures. Not bad. It's not doing anything wrong. The volume is a little bit low on the pullback, which is what you want to see. But everything else is just kind of trending upwards, and we're looking for much higher prices towards 170,000. All right, so this is just a quick look on the macro in terms of how the charts are kind of setting up here. I'm going to jump over to Elliott Wave right now. We'll start with kind of the main indices. We'll take a look at the S&P. As you know, what we're watching is bottom of the second wave, again finished back in April, and the idea is that this will continue to go towards the reverse fib of this decline, which takes us towards 138, between 127 and 138%, near 65, 62, and 67, 38 are the upside targets once we go to new highs. Again, we could be doing a second wave pullback and then go, or we might go all the way up there first before we pull back. We'll see how that unfolds. No way to really know, but the idea is that this is going to continue to go towards the top of that channel. On a shorter time frame, the S&P, it's a bit tricky in here because it's got multiple waves and internal structures here. I'm still fairly positive. It seems that the price action is squeezing a little bit, so we could be towards the top of this micro, sub-micro third wave, and then we'll probably do another 4 and another 5, another 4 and another 5. So I think from here on out it could get a little bit choppier. The big sequence of the move has already been made, and as you're approaching your all-time highs, there are going to be a little bit of fighting up there, but I continue to remain fairly positive. I talk about places to trim and to get out or to increase on a daily basis on our daily videos on Substack, but here from a weekly time frame perspective, things continue to look fairly solid in the S&P. Semiconductors, it's another area that's been doing quite well, and they recovered. I think that's a pretty clear and clean ABC. We continue to look for an overtake of this B wave level at 55.25. Once that happens, we're probably gonna maybe complete the top of the wave 1, then start to work a little bit of a wave 2, and then onwards and upwards in the semiconductors as well. Here are some of the internal structures. I really haven't reworked them, but it looks like you have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, a wave 5 to maybe complete this 3, another 4, another 5, and a bit similar to kind of what's going on in the S&P 500. Let's take a quick look at the Russell, which, again, at completion of this wave 2, I've done a separate video on this with kind of multiple takes on it, but basically a wave 2 pullback, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a wave 1, then a wave 2, and then the traveling should continue towards the top of this beautiful channel up there. So and then here is the kind of the shorter term view on that. Let's see what else can we look at in here. Okay, I think that's quite enough. Let's take a look now at Bitcoin and talk a little bit about that. I don't want to make this video too long. My son is graduating today from college, so I'll be going there in about a couple of hours. But let's take a look. So Bitcoin still, like I said, we're still looking towards these upside targets to 56 to 30. That's kind of the kind of the main goal, to see if we can get all the way up there. Obviously it's not going to happen in a straight line. For everyone that thought that this is going to be a top of a wave 5, we made a new high, so that kind of threw cold water over that count. So then we're just continuing to go with this being possibly either wave 1 red and a very short wave 2, or a lower degree count here with this purple, and this wave 5 is still in progress. I don't really care which one it is. The idea is that we're still impulsing up, and we're looking for, let's say, at least equality with this wave 1. If I go for for like 100% of that, 3 versus 1. Maybe I already have it. I'm going to check the other chart. Okay, so that's the kind of on the 1 week time frame, and then let's go here, and you can see 3v1. So 100% comes at about 165,394, where this wave 3 supposedly will have equality with this wave 1. The move in here, pretty nice and impulsive. Again, it's doing nothing wrong. Bitcoin is basically pulling in a wave 2. It's my thinking, and no way really of knowing that this is it's done or not yet. It's going to get confirmed once it moves above 112,000, and it only pulled back about a 23%, which suggests a pretty powerful market if that's the case. But it still has room to decline without really doing a whole lot of damage to the overall structure. Preferably I like this to remain short, just so it can continue to have strength and not drag along too much. But that's the idea. They have a nice impulse 5-wave structure here in a wave 1. In a wave 2, we would do targets for a wave 3 if this wave 2 is done. Again, at the minimum 100, and you will see it up there, at the minimum 150,000 would be equality between this wave 1 in orange and this wave 3, with the potential of this continuing higher towards this 100%. Again, I think things are looking fairly decent. The RSI here on the daily pulled back towards 40 RSI. Let's take a quick look. I want to go back to these charts and see if I can pull Bitcoin on a daily. Let me go to this type of a chart. I'm going to try to make this a little bit bigger here, maybe go for a 6-month. And you can see you have a rising 50-day moving average, and it's exactly kind of where it stopped. And almost like a bullish engulfing. So I think the moment that this gets kind of taken out and it breaks above that, I think that's a signal to continue kind of pushing up on the long side. Some people might argue that this is a 5-way moving a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We have a bit of overlap there. I've seen plenty of declines that look like a 5-wave and they're not a 5-wave, and I prefer to continue to trade with the uptrend. So what's the likely level that this could fail if this is indeed a 5-wave decline? And I'm going to go and put a little bit of a fib here. I'm going to go to let me just make this a little bit bigger, and I'm going to remove this, but it will be basically a 61% retracement of this decline. So we would need to watch for that, which is at about 107,425. So watch those levels. If the market fails up there and it starts to turn, then we might have a decline in a wave A, maybe a leading if you have an overlap, then do a B. So that's the idea, right? That you can probably fail up there, and then that would be a B wave, and then you would have another decline like that for a wave C, and then you would continue to go higher. So very important to watch these levels. If they get overtake, then it's likely that we can continue to go. And with that, I'll leave you. I wish everybody a great weekend. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.